Trendy news: the resurrection of the spirit of Biafra through Ipob as a consequence. See the consequences below. Nigeria is in a state of undeclared war with itself. The most populous black nation on earth is fighting on different fronts, from the Boko Haram insurgency to the scourge of marauding killer herdsmen and the militant activities of the Avengers in the Niger Delta. Clearly, all is not well with Nigeria. The common denominator of all these groups is separatism, brought about not only by the structure of the Nigerian state, but in its operation by the political leadership. The longest ruling separatist organization and agitation is the Biafran aspiration among Nigerians, Ipob, and ethnic groups. The Biafran struggle has resurfaced in the form of the indigenous people of Biafra, Ipob, a separatist group led by Nnamdi Kanu. The Biafran spirit is as alive today as it was in 1967, because Nigeria is as divided today as was then. The Igbo ethnic groups, one of the largest in Nigeria with over 40 million people, is the most marginalized and politically advantaged. The marginalization of the Igbo is systematic and far-reaching. Modern Nigerian is a British colonial legacy. The 18th century was the age of European exploration of sub-Saharan Africa. Following the Industrial Revolution and the declining slave trade, to determine the feasibility of legitimate trade in the interior of the continent. In the preceding era of the transatlantic slave trade, European merchants had limited knowledge of the interior of sub-Saharan Africa, as trade was conducted on the coast, with local businessmen serving as middlemen between them and chieftains of slave trading chiefdoms. Following the amalgamation of the various kingdoms, chiefdom of the peoples of Nigeria in 1914 by the colonial governor of the territory formerly known as the Niger area, Lord Frederick Lugard, Nigerians' journey to nationhood began. The various people who suddenly found themselves under a common umbrella accepted their new state status with mixed feelings and reversible, with each group seeking a better deal with the constitutional framework of the new nation. One group of people who embraces the modern state of Nigeria without reversing anything was the Igbos. The pre-colonial egalitarian socio-political system of the Igbo was consistent with the concept of a modern constitutional democracy. The independent spirit and unbribed republican nature of pre-colonial Igbo society, where feudalism and serfdom were almost absent, entirely fostered in them the spirit of competition, culture of hard work, and a societal reward system that was based largely on merit. Coming from this background, the Igbo, they saw an opportunity in the prospect of a modern state to unleash their enemy and energy and enterprise equipment with Western education, and the Igbo moved freely around Nigeria and made a home out of every part of Nigeria. They made a success of their enterprise with huge financial profits, which readily distinguished them in their host communities. Their success sometimes made them bourgeois with a high sense of self-worth, which unfortunately was mirrored as ignorance to other ethnic groups. The rest of Nigeria began to view the Igbo with suspicion of an intention of dominating everywhere and everything. The sentiment became more manifest by the dawn of independence in 1960. The struggle of independence was on the strength of pan-Nigerian nationalism as championed by the likes of Albert, Macaulay, H.O. Davis, and Nnamdi Azikiwe. So viewers, you've heard it all from the writer. It said little about Biafra and Ipob, and also little about the history of civil war of Nigeria then during the civil war, and also we talked about the most popular black nation on earth which are fighting on different fronts. We also talked about the Boko Haram insurgency, to the scourge of marauding, killing Fulani herdsmen, and the militant activities of the Avengers in Niger Delta. Also, once again, lastly, I won't say everything I read now. I want to analyze, but I've analyzed few, and the last one I'm going to analyze now is about the Biafran Republic. I also said that the resurrection of the spirit of Biafran through Ipob is as a consequences of heightened marginalization of the Igbo ethnic groups under the current administration of President Muhammadu Buhari, and also the Biafra questions is beyond Nnamdi Kanu's Ipob, which is only a symbolic expression on deep dissatisfaction that it was brought about by a systematic injustice on the Igbo. So viewers, what is your take concerning what you just heard and the news I've just read to you and the analysis? Your